want a guinea pig for Christmas. I want a guinea pig for Christmas. Oh Santa, won't you hear my plea? I want a GYNEAPIG. You want an Xbox or a new PlayStation? I need a boyfriend with a fuzzy face and just one thing I want under the tree. I want a GYNEAPIG. Oh Santa Claus, up in space. I'm so lonely. Why can't you see? You gotta find a guinea
pig for Christmas. He wants a guinea pig for Christmas. Oh, Santa, won't you please, please? He wants a GYNEAPIG.
Yes! I'm so excited!
Guinea pig for Christmas.
It is my favorite one. Where? That's it. It's coming. I don't get 19 pp. How the fuck does that make sense? I go 5 minutes. What if I max it? Well, 40. Like what?
Oh, he's got it all.
Awaken to a world of wonder in Final Fantasy XIV Online.
The crying child's name has been found. That's right, we finally have an answer for a question that has stumped this community for a literal decade. And the craziest part of all of it, it was solved by a channel with only one video. Matt must be rolling in his retirement grave.
We'll just see about that.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that's happy to let someone else solve FNAF for a change. Since the release of Security Breach, it feels like there's been a massive new wave of FNAF theorizing on YouTube. We've seen the rise of people like John FNAF, Rye Toast, ID's Fantasy, and dozens more, all joining us in the good fight to try and solve the infuriating lore of this franchise. And just over a month ago, a new challenger, or should I say challengers, entered the ring. The channel Dual Process Theory. And they went big for their first outing, making the claim that they'd solved the entirety of FNAF in their very first video. And not only were they laying down a timeline for the whole series, they also claim to have solved a particular mystery that has been bugging us theorists for a long time. What is the name of the crying child? After nearly 10 years, we still just call him the crying child, despite the fact that every other character in this franchise seems to get a name. Mike, Elizabeth, Charlie, even the missing children got names. So why is this kid's name left blank? Well, according to Dual Process Theory, it's not that he doesn't have a name, it's that we just missed it. We've had the name all along, we've just been giving it to someone else. They suggest that the crying child's name is Cassidy, the name we found all the way back in the word search of the survival logbook. The same name that, for the longest time, we have given to the vengeful spirit from Ultimate Custom Night, the one Afton should not have killed. Not only that, but they claim that the child we thought was Cassidy doesn't even exist. For years, we've assumed that there are 7 dead kids, 5 missing children's incident victims, including Cassidy, Charlotte, Emily the puppet, and the nameless crying child. But instead, they claim that there have only ever been 6, with the final missing kid and the bite victim being one in the same, Cassidy Afton. It's a bold claim, but when you get into the meat of it, their argument is actually quite compelling. So I went back to the drawing board and started mapping out the pieces myself to see if I could come to that same conclusion. Is the crying child actually Cassidy? Ladies and gentlemen, it's...
Hey Tom, what you doing?
Oh, hey Matt, I'm kind of in the middle of solving FNAF.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure you have a theory that changes everything. A clue that we missed?
Kinda, yeah.
Perfect. Well, before you fire up the old Golden Freddy thumbnail and then slap a dark truth on that, I've got another puzzle for you to solve. Lore-fi. It's the music-based mystery project that I've been working on. Basically, it's what you get if you have Lo-Fi Girl, but you mix in a murder mystery.
Because who hasn't ever wondered that?
I know! But the good news is you don't have to wonder anymore, because episode 1 is finally ready. On one level, you could just study and relax and sleep to the music that you're listening to. In fact, you've been listening to one of the tracks this whole time. And there's gonna be new music releasing dropping every week on our Lore-Fi Spotify channel. But you know what? If you want to go a level deeper, hidden within some of that music and the videos that exist here on YouTube, there are clues pointing at the story of a missing kid. A missing kid named Gregory.
Gregory? Seriously, Matt?
Yeah, hear me out. Yeah, I got nothing. I just wanted to meme on the name. Good news though, my Gregory, not a robot.
Yeah, sure, for now. I assume you put a link in the description on your way in.
I did indeed, sir. And people should definitely click on it because, like I said, there's going to be new secrets waiting to be discovered every week over on Spotify and a new animation dropping roughly once a month and a half here on YouTube. All as we help a new character, Taylor, solve the deadly game that she accidentally finds herself trapped in.
Do I really have to solve this? I kinda got my hands full with all the FNAF stuff coming down the pipeline. I was actually just about to do a Morty on dual process theory's theory.
Oh, I remember that one. It's a great video. But you do realize the M in Morty stands for MatPat, right? MatPat occasionally reviews theories, yo.
Huh, didn't think about that. Say, Matt, I know you're kind of retired and everything, but seeing how dual process theory's video was a two-person effort and you're already here, how'd you like to tag team this FNAF theory?
I mean, it's a little cramped in the recording closet with the two of us, but sure, why not?
Awesome, and now I don't have to change the theme song. Hit it, Yossi!
Leave your theories in the comments below. I'll pick my favorites in the next episode of Morty.
First things first, it's probably a good idea that we recap the main evidence points dual process theory has for the crying child being Cassidy. Their video is nearly 2 hours long after all. Who has that much time? Well, except for you, considering you took over 4 hours to react to it.
Look, I'm retired now. I've got nothing but time. But I think you're right. So let's quickly recap, starting with the first major point, how we got the name in the survival logbook. Now, this book has been a cornerstone of the FNAF franchise since its release. Inside, we have 3 separate people speaking to us. Michael Afton, who writes in red pen, a spirit that writes in faded text, and a third person that alters the text of the book. The faded text writes the words "my name" on a number of the pages, and on those pages there's always some sort of weird number. Take all those numbers and turn them into coordinates for the word search, and bam! You get the name Cassidy.
It sounds so simple now, but I remember ripping my hair out over this at the same time you were.
But the key to the whole thing was one very important usage of my name. On one of the pages, the my name appears on a gravestone, just like the gravestone missing a name from FNAF 6's ending, which, it should be remembered, released around the same time as this book. So it seemed pretty darn obvious that these clues were revealing the name of that final character, the 5th missing child, which is why for the longest time we've been calling the 5th child Cassidy.
And this is where dual process theory throws their first spanner into the works.
You mean wrench?
Look, you chose a British guy to take over. This is what you get. While yes, my name appeared on every page the clues were hiding, notice what's on the opposite page of the word search. A mirror. And under it, the spirit leaves a message. What do you see? Well, what's on the other page? The crying child using altered text in the word search. It's me, Cassidy. God, it's so good!
It is pretty compelling, especially because, in all honesty, the placement of that mirror always felt suspicious to me. So I really like them using it for their theory. But if crying child is Cassidy, then who else is speaking in the book? You need a second spirit to act as the faded text.
Well, according to them, it's Charlie, the puppet, doing what she's been trying to do the entire series, help the lost spirits find themselves.
And again, I gotta say, I really like that. Narratively, that's really satisfying because it brings together the 3 main characters from the franchise all in the same place. Mike with his red pen, crying child Cassidy as the altered text, and Charlie guiding the conversation as the ghostly faded text. It's cool and it feels complete, but is there actual evidence to support this, or is it all hypothesis? And that's not all. Dual process theory weren't just satisfied with crying child having Cassidy's name, they went further to suggest that the crying child is Cassidy, as in Cassidy is an Afton, and the 5th missing child on the gravestone, and the spirit within Golden Freddy, the only spirit inside a Golden Freddy, as opposed to most of our theories where the crying child is 1/2 of our best golden boy.
They also have the evidence to back it up. The first point is that Golden Freddy doesn't speak in plurals. When you take a look at the one line we ever get from Golden Freddy, what do we see? It's me, singular, implying that there's only one spirit in there. Compare that to what we see in the books. Throughout the series, there have only been 2 instances of animatronics possessed by multiple people. The first is the Stitch Wraith from the Fazbear Frights epilogues. The second is Rosie Porkchop from the Fazbear Frights story Together Forever. And while the Stitch Wraith isn't able to speak until the second soul is gone, Rosie Porkchop speaks while still containing both spirits, and refers to itself as ladies in waiting. It's using plurals showing the 2 spirits.
We're gonna come back to that point, right?
Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna come back to all of this.
Okay, great, because I have thoughts on that one.
The second point they bring up is everyone's favorite FNAF 3 classic, Happiest Day. This is the final minigame where we see the puppet giving cake to the birthday child, surrounded by their friends in animatronic masks. Once the puppet delivers the cake, the child stops crying, puts on their Golden Freddy mask, and all the children's spirits move on.
Well, except for Charlie, because she's still got to show up in FNAF 6.
Yeah, because nothing can ever just be as it seems with this franchise. But there is one thing that I think we can both agree is very straightforward. There are only 6 kids at this party, the 5 missing children and the puppet. If there were supposed to be 2 spirits inside Golden Freddy, why isn't there a 7th kid? Which ties in perfectly to point number 3, the glowing eyes at the end of FNAF 3.
This one's personal, so I'll take it. As a reminder, if you beat FNAF 3 without doing the Happiest Day minigame, you get the game's bad ending. This gives us a screen where our 4 main animatronics each have 1 glowing eye, symbolic of the fact that their spirits haven't been released yet. Seems pretty self-explanatory, right? But then look who we have in the back. Golden Freddy, with not just 1 glowing eye, but 2. This was always the backbone to the whole 2 spirits debate. The idea that, unlike all the other animatronics who each had 1 kid's spirit inside of them, Golden Freddy was different. He had 2, both the innocent crying child spirit and the vengeful spirit Cassidy, the 5th victim. It was a theory that was further supported by the books, specifically the Stitch Wraith stingers, where we see an animatronic possessed by 2 spirits, a nice wholesome kid named Jake and an evil angry spirit named Andrew. One who dies in a hospital setting like the crying child, and one who dies by a brutal murder from Afton. I mean, the parallels are hard to deny. However, Dual Process challenges this by calling out the fact that if there were indeed 2 spirits in the body, why then do both eyes go out once you complete Happiest Day? Especially since we've believed that the Cassidy spirit lingers on to torture Afton in Ultimate Custom Night. Only 1 light should have gone out, to which I have one answer: retcon. But obviously that's a bit of a cheap explanation if we can avoid it.
Which brings us to Dual Process's last point. How can the crying child be the 5th missing kid when, very clearly, he's not missing? Like, he's literally right here in front of a large room of people. Well, they make the assumption that this was all part of William's scheme. After the bite of 83, William pulls his child out of the hospital, and while experimenting with harvesting remnant, has the bright idea to stuff his son into Golden Freddy. Whoops! Bad idea, Will. It doesn't work, and the spring locks kill him, which is why we see Golden Freddy twitching in Ultimate Custom Night in the same way William does during the FNAF 3 teaser. This mistake devastates him, and in a drunken stupor, he lashes out at Henry's daughter, Charlie, killing her last. This then aligns with what we see from the gravestone puzzle in Help Wanted 2. To solve it, you have to light the gravestones marked by the 6 dead children in a specific order, presumably the order in which they died. Chica, the first, she has seen everything, followed by Foxy, Freddy, Bonnie, then Golden Freddy, and finally the puppets. Later, when the police start to investigate the disappearances at the restaurant, William claims his child also went missing to throw them off the scent that he may be the killer.
Now, while I don't really love the logical jumps their explanation takes there, one thing I really do like about the crying child being the 5th missing victim, and therefore the only spirit inside Golden Freddy, is that it really does help clean up the numbers. For years, 5 was the magic number in FNAF when it came to dead kids. Then, around FNAF 3, it evolved into 6 with the inclusion of the puppet. And yet FNAF 4 shows us what was presumably a 7th kid dying in the form of the crying child. And while Help Wanted does eventually give us 7 graves and a hidden out-of-bounds Easter egg, it always bugged me that there was never a gravestone for him in the FNAF 6 ending. I always just assumed that it was because he ended up being different. He wasn't a victim of Afton's, and thus he wasn't included in that final image. But if Crying Child is in fact the 5th kid, it helps explain why there was never an additional grave for him, because he was always there to begin with. He was the one hidden behind the grass.
They also don't mention this in their theory, but in FNAF 3, look at the spirit who gets Afton's spring locked. They have tears streaming down their face, just like the crying child. We never see the other spirits' faces. We're specifically being shown that this one has tears, revealing that this isn't a separate spirit from the crying child. They are one in the same. Scott even used the same model in FNAF World specifically for the crying child.
To be fair, tears are everywhere in the series though. I mean, the puppet is shown crying literally all the time.
So, are we done? Did they solve FNAF? Can I retire now too?
No, you still have to solve Poppy.
No.
And Lorfi.
Okay.
And Ban.
No!
I lead Boeing's Eco Demonstrator program. My experience at Space Camp, it changed my life. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. What I love is that I really have an impact for future generations.
جالكسي فلوتس متعة القرمشة غرقانة في متعة جالكسي.
But secondly, well, this theory is really satisfying from a narrative standpoint. It helps to simplify a lot of the confusing elements that have built up over the years. There are a few pieces of evidence that they didn't mention that might poke a few holes in their theory.
Oh yeah?
So Tom, what's this sound?
It's a flatline.
And when does a flatline happen?
Well, a flatline is typically shorthand to show that someone has died, usually in a hospital.
Exactly. And during FNAF 4, we see things like IV bags, pills, and flowers surrounding the bed. All things that you would see in a hospital. Crying Child was in the hospital for his injuries, and then...
Hello? Hello, wait, let me call you.
1 gigabyte per second. I'm downloading Fortnite and it's already 8%. I started downloading it like 30 seconds ago. What is this? My internet is superhuman right now. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? This is Fortnite.
What is your internet? What is your internet? What is your internet? Body. How? Buckaroo. Bro, stop standing me chats. Download also. Let's get on also. How is it open? You just download OSU, not even play it. Wait, so you're saying you're gonna be able to play today? No. What about tomorrow? Probably. You don't understand. You don't understand how good this is gonna be. How much FPS could I get
And we hear a flat line.
If you're talking about 4.5 FPS, then you should be worrying about your CPU.
And right after Afton says that he's going to put his...
Why are you re-downloading Fortnite, man? Like, I'm not playing Fortnite. You stupid. You heard?
his son back together.
What do you mean I'm mad? Oh, you mad? Nobody's playing this Fortnite. Yeah, but my dad wants me to test Fortnite. It was on 26, it's on 5. Oh, I made a fucking left out, bro. The 1.50k No reaction.
If people don't get one, so good luck. First up the broad category. Anyone who's in the ocean today, you get a good night. Anyone who's wearing something with a collar, you get a good night. And anybody who had a nap today, you also get a good night. Moving on to specific, also you should totally follow me. I do these every night. Anybody who recognizes this scene, if you can recognize it from
whenever his head is detected. Joystick invention. First I grabbed the high voltage transformer and a 9-volt battery. Sat and 3D printed a case for it, taped it together, and this was what I was left with. Then to make this invention safe, I added a safety switch by absolutely mutilating a switch and soldering it to the battery. Lastly, I grabbed my Arduino Nano, my ultrasonic sensor, and my relay, and coded it to activate the zapper whenever the ultrasonic sensor detected something less than 20 centimeters away. Finally, I added it to my car and it was time to test it. Alright guys, so I set it up and now if I flip on this switch right here, and if my hand is close enough to that sensor there, it should turn on the zapper. Okay guys, now that it's all set up, it's time to invite my monkey rat brother into the car. What is this? This is my new invention. Okay, so you know how every single time I drive you like cover my view? Yeah? Yeah, I dare you, do it.